with the screen on the stream instead of it just being completely blank, because I don't really want to be showing myself off right now because I look horrible. Oh, it's gone. Is it still live? I don't actually know if I'm live right now. Oh, there we go. It just disappeared, that bit at the top. Right, okay. Just wanted to make sure it's up and running and working and it's not just gone off on me. Right, well, nobody's on the chat yet, obviously, but I'm just going to get straight into it and just say hi, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. This is a follow-on live stream regarding the incident that happened yesterday. Now, I accidentally shared the screen while setting up this live stream, so I didn't really mean to. It's just that whenever I go to advanced settings to try and actually monetize the live stream straight from the back instead of doing it later in edit mode, it seems to, for some reason, automatically set it to screen sharing mode. I don't know why it does that. It's quite annoying, but at least this way you guys won't just be seeing a blank screen like normal. I don't really have anything interesting to put up on the screen right now, because I don't really want you guys to see everything that's on my my phone. So I've just got it on voice recorder because I've got some stuff that happened yesterday on the voice recorder, recorded obviously for your listening pleasure. I don't know whether it'll work, so I'm just going to play one right now and you guys can just let me know if it's working. Let me know if you can hear it. Oh, I've got the sound down 1 minute.
Say, well, you shouldn't be at the town hall at night on your own.
Right, so basically, just let me know if that's working. Just let me know if that's working. Okay, it's gone to YouTube. Why has it gone to YouTube? How do I get rid of it? Okay, there we go. I was trying to go to the chat, and I wasn't able to go to the chat, and it just went to it just went to YouTube for some reason. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to get the chat up, but I can see the chat now. I can't see it very well because it's all in white. So my screen is in white. Obviously this background here is in white, and your guys' text is also in white. So I can't read anything right now. So I'm gonna have to go to a darker screen in a minute to see the chat. And it also disappears. The chat just seems to disappear. I don't know why. So I'm just going to carry on saying what I'm saying real quick, and then I'm going to try and read the chat, because like I say, it's all in white. I can't see anything at all, so it's kind of annoying. I can't see it because it's all in white. The background's in white, the text is in white. So I'm going to go to a dark screen in a minute, but first I'm just going to tell you guys what happened. So obviously I stopped the live stream when I got home, as you know, and then I called the police immediately after. I called 101 rather than 999, because they tell you to do that in a non-emergency. Sorry guys, I'm just drinking my peppermint because it helps my gut. And you know how my gut has been feeling unwell, and not unwell, but like just really uncomfortable, like pain and discomfort in my lower left hand side in my abdomen. Well, it's been calm ever since starting this new gut health tea, like a digestion aiding tea, and I've felt much better in my lower back and in my stomach and everything. But unfortunately, after yesterday's incident, not just with the kids but everything that happened afterwards, my gut's been in absolute shambles again, and my lower half has been just a mess. I've been in my stomach's been in knots, my head's been in knots. The thoughts have just been whirring around my head. It's just been awful. The whole incident that happened yesterday has just taken its toll on my mental health and my physical health. So this isn't good. So after I put the after I stopped the live stream and I rang the police, obviously the call handler isn't a police woman. It's just a call handler and a person who just takes details down. So I don't really know what to call her. But this person proceeded to blame me for the fact that the kids harassed me by saying I shouldn't have been where I was at 7 at night. I don't know where she expects me to be instead, but apparently, according to her, in order to not set the little darlings off, I should just not go out and not go and sit on a bench with food at that time of night. And it's like, fuck you, man. I can do whatever I want. Why am I being told I shouldn't do this and that and the other? When they're just, why are they allowed to do what they're doing? But I shouldn't go out. Like, oh, you shouldn't go out because it upsets them. Like, what the fuck? That is a terrible advice to give. Well, it wasn't even advice. She was just saying, she was just questioning me, like, why were you sat on a bench at that time of night where you were? And it's like, again, fuck you, I can do whatever I want, I'm a grown-up. Why are you talking to me like I'm a child or something? It's like ridiculous. So according to them, these children can go out and do whatever they want and hang around and pester me. But I can't go out and sit on a bench and have food, minding my own business, not committing any crimes, not doing anything wrong, not going out intimidating people. But they're allowed to do it. Like, something doesn't seem very right about that. She seems to be blaming the victim here. Instead of solving the issue so that I can go out at night and sit on a bench, she'd rather me just change my habits and ways in order to appease the little darling hooligans. I couldn't believe it when she said it. Why I didn't go absolute off on one, I don't know. Of course, you can't speak badly to these people. Ooh, you can't say anything against them. You can't shout at them or have a go at them. They can say whatever they like. It's disgusting. I just absolutely can't believe it. And then I talked to my mum about the whole thing, and at first she was on my side and saying that I should even get onto my local MP and tell them how this woman handled it. But then, because of all this hoo-ha, I was late doing dinner because I was so busy, like, recording it. I was doing voice recordings, I was writing in my journal, I was writing all these notes and doing, like, voice notes about it so that I wouldn't forget to tell the police when they finally do talk to me. Because as you know, even when these call handlers take down all the details, the full details never get to the actual people that are handling the case. So I know that I'm going to have to tell someone all these details all over again. I am writing as much details down and also making recordings of it, and I was just absolutely fuming. I was listening to my friend's voice messages as well, and I was telling her about another incident that happened, actually. I haven't gotten around to telling her about all the details that are happening, regarding, because I'm talking to her about another incident that has occurred. I'll tell you about that one as well. So real quick, the other incident that's happening that's pissing me off is someone is going around bad-mouthing me to all the furry people in the furry groups, because when I try and chat in the furry chat groups, they don't talk to me anymore. Like, it's very rare. I try and say all sorts. I share pictures, I share my art, and like they don't reply like ever to anything I say. So that's kind of upsetting, and I suspect that somebody's going around bad-mouthing me. Probably the stupid admin who banned me, probably. And I've also been kicked out of one of the group chats as well, the Warrington Furry Meet one. And they didn't tell me why that they've kicked me out. They didn't sort of give me a warning and say, we've kicked you out because of XYZ. Instead, I have just come to the conclusion, because the last thing that happened in the group was that I tried to start a conversation about a meme that I heard about a very long time ago. It was one of like a Shiba Inu dog whose face has been edited and warped into this kind of like a sinister evil smile. And the meme read, "The only trans rights that I support is the transatlantic slave trade." And at the time when I saw that meme, I thought it was quite funny and I kind of liked it because I like dark humor. So I brought it up in the chat because I wanted to know if anybody else had seen this meme. I didn't let them know, like I didn't say one way or another whether I agreed with the meme or not. So I didn't say, oh yeah, I found that really funny, you know, what do you guys think of it? I just kind of said, hey, do you remember this meme? You know, like that's it. And they went off on one and they said, one of them, after having a go at me, they deleted my message, which was, it was just, hey, have you seen this meme that read and what I've just said? And they pretty much deleted that message, and they put a message saying, we have deleted your message because it mentions slavery, which might be offensive to people, and it advocates slavery. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's made me look worse now. The fact that they have deleted my message I've actually put, which is nothing to do with being pro-slavery. It actually, in my message, it said, like what I said, which is not offensive at all or pro-slavery. But because that message has been deleted and they've put in place the message they said, which is, we have deleted your message because you mentioned slavery and it might be upsetting to people. It's like, it makes it sound really bad. You have made me sound really bad right now. You have made me sound worse than I actually worded it. What the fuck, man? So I was really fuming. All they had to do was remove my message, and that's it. Like, they didn't even have to say anything. All they had to do was just remove my message. But if they insisted on warning me as to why they've deleted my message, they should have done the decent thing and PM'd me. They should have private messaged me. So I think it's absolutely disgusting the way they treated me in there. And now all the other groups, even though they've not kicked me out, because I guess they think, well, you've not done anything wrong in these groups, so we can't kick you out. But they just won't talk to me now. They just completely ignore me. So I'm assuming word has gotten round that I've talked about this meme, and word has gotten round that them accusing me of live streaming in the fursuit lounge. I'm assuming, word has gotten round. But there's also somebody in there, I'm not going to mention names, you know who you are, but there's someone in there who has been like bad-mouthing me to staff, and it's like word has spread around, so I think that is why they now don't talk to me in the group. And it's really pissed me off, because the person said that they actually said I am not fit to be out in society and I'm a danger to myself and others. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? How the fuck am I a danger to myself and others? Because I exist? Because I go out and live stream sometimes? Like, what the fuck? It's not like I'm going to live stream all of the time. And especially if I'm not allowed to live stream at a place, I'm not gonna do it, am I? I'm not gonna do it. It's absolutely disgusting the way I get treated. It's like, I get it from the kids, I get it from my mum, which, by the way, I've not finished my story, so obviously I got it from that call handler saying, you should just not go out at that time, and you should just not go and sit on a bench at that time, and just stay in and just don't go out, just don't exist, just disappear. Like, that is basically what she's saying, but she said it in such a nice way, you can't really even argue with it, because she was so, like, nice. The way she talked, but her words were like, why are you sitting on a bench at 7:30? It's like, for fuck's sake, I'm a grown-up, I can do what I want, and I've got human rights to go out and do and be wherever I want and do whatever I want, as long as it's not harming anyone. Like, how is me going out and being sat on a bench at 7:30 doing anything wrong when these kids weren't even there? But one of them came and told all the rest of them that I was there, and then 2 by 2 they all started coming from all directions and flocking around me and milling from to and fro between left and right, and they're putting up their hoods covering their faces, which to me means that they're actively They know that they're doing something wrong, which means they feel like they have to cover their identities up, and they're just like staring at me the whole time. And it looks like they're just doing nothing, sorry. It looks like they're doing nothing wrong, but they're covertly trying to get closer and closer and closer with their big gang and intimidate me. But all anyone can say, like people like her, because I've had it before, is, oh, well, you shouldn't be out, and you shouldn't be doing this, and it's like, why aren't you telling them that? Why aren't you telling these fuckers that they shouldn't be doing this? Why aren't you telling them that I can do what I like as long as I'm not harming anyone? But what you're clearly doing is causing distress to someone and bullying and intimidating. But no, I'm always the one in the fucking wrong. And this is what pisses me off. I'm always the one in the wrong in everybody's eyes. I shouldn't be doing this and I shouldn't be doing that. Appease every fucker else. And I'm not doing it anymore. This is why I get annoyed. Because everyone expects me to appease everyone else and just stop doing certain things. And it's ridiculous. I'm not doing it. Everyone else has the right to defend themselves. Everyone else has the right to get mad. Everyone else has the right to do whatever they want to do. But apparently when it comes to me, I've just got to shut up, not go out, not get mad, ignore it, always think positive. Well, I don't feel fucking positive right now. I don't feel fucking optimistic and positive right now. I'm very angry. I'm very frustrated. And I have a right to feel this way, despite all these people who say you've got to be thinking positively all of the time and thinking nice thoughts all of the time. Well, how am I supposed to do that when I'm getting bullied by fucking everyone in my life? I get bullied at home by my mother. I get bullied when I go out by the fucking kids. I get banned from places like Asda and Morrison's for doing fucking nothing. I get banned from furry meets for doing fucking nothing. I get ignored in furry group chats for no reason at all. I'm being told I'm a liability and a danger to myself and others. Well, this doesn't exactly thrill me and make me feel very positive. So no, I'm not just going to be a good little girl and just zip it all the time and just have to be nice and positive and optimistic and sweet and nice and just whatever. It's just another form of oppression, isn't it? You've got to shut up and just take it, woman. That's basically what people are saying. Just shut up and take it. Take the shit from the kids. Take the shit from everyone else. That is what I'm basically being told every time people say that I should just ignore it and I should never be upset and I should just, like, not let it bother me. And, oh, just calm down. It's like, well, I tried to calm down, but my stomach and my lower back has been in a shambles all fucking night last night after the incident happened. My adrenaline and stress hormones get released. And you know what? The more stress hormones get released, like I said in this recording here, why police should be taking notice of these incidents that seem small. I explain it all here. What happens if you know biology, you know that the more stress hormones get released on a more frequent basis, the longer it takes for your body to go back to normal. And the more stress hormones get released in your body and stay swimming around in your body, the more things start to go wrong. The more it starts being harder to calm down. The more it starts being harder to be positive and happy. The more it becomes easier to get upset and depressed, and the more your body starts to react to it and start to physically show signs of decaying and deterioration. This is why my mother is disabled. This is why my mum has degenerative discs, because she had to put up with a load of shit before I had to, from abusive partners, abusive parents, people reporting her left, right and centre, people giving her a hard time left, right and centre. It takes a toll on your body. And then on top of that, we had to put up with these fucking kids giving us grief since I was 10 years fucking old. And my mum dealt with it for the first few years. And then I've had to take it on for the last maybe 10, 12 years. So now I'm starting to feel the physical effects of all this shite. And then on top of it, I end up doing dinner late, so my mum has a go at me, and we end up having a row because I was trying to tell her the solution to the problem, which is put the freaking oven on while I'm out so I could put the fish on when I got home. So it could have been done sooner, but instead she just blamed me. So I ended up in a row, and I kept trying to repeat myself that all I wanted to do was put the oven on, and that would be the solution. But instead she started getting in my face, and she started pointing the finger, like literally, and it almost poked me in the face, so I slapped her hand away, and she kept coming closer and closer and closer with her face in my face, and then she kept accusing me of being the one doing it. She accused me of being the one to get in her face with my face and slapping her. She accused me of doing that, and all the videos are on YouTube. I've uploaded them. Unfortunately, it's only audio. And yes, I did act deranged and crazy because she wouldn't listen to me. She kept over shouting and screaming at me. So in order to make her listen, I had to shout, and I sounded manic, unfortunately. Because she was just being so fucking difficult and just blaming me and accusing me of things. So, yeah, I'm so sorry, Dean. I can't see your comments. I wish there was a way I could do it without... I'm just going to have to go on there. Where is it? It's not showing... It's still not showing the chat. It's not showing the chat. No, it's not showing the chat. I'm so sorry, Dean. I just can't see the chat for some reason. It's just not showing me the chat no matter what I do. If you could say something else, the chat will show up on the screen, and maybe I could go on a dark screen. YouTube is the only dark screen I got, fortunately. Let's see.
Because, you know, you're more of a target, but I have been targeted at my own home before.
Let me know if you can hear this, by the way.
And again, you can ignore them. Like I say, even if they come here and they're just doing stuff in the garden. But if they're actually coming in and targeting your actual house, like your windows and stuff like that, or your door,
Which is what
and they're
happens,
making
as you know.
boomy, bangy sounds, you can't ignore that. Like, that's something you can't ignore. And it's scary. It can be scary. Like, you know, it's all quiet, then suddenly boom or bang or smash. It's horrible. People don't take harassment of this sort seriously. They just think, oh, it's just kids being antisocial and a bit naughty. It's what kids do. And it's like, but it's terrorizing. Like, I've been told that calling them terrorists is like too much. But they actually are terrorists. They might not be bombing the place, but they are doing things that shock you and scare you and surprise you, and that can wreak havoc on your body. Like, just recently I've started having funny heart palpitations. My mum had a
I don't care what people say, they are terrorists.
heart attack.
Anyone who actively targets a place and destroys it and bullies you and harasses you and targets you, that's terrorism. It's bullying and terrorism and abuse.
When they were relentlessly harassing us about 8, 9, 10 years ago. And for all they know, the reason why my mum had a heart attack was being relentlessly harassed. And the reason why I've got now bumpy heart things going on and stomach problems is because of the same reason. You know, all of this stuff, it might not affect you initially when it first starts happening, but over time when it keeps happening, it can affect you. Because every time it happens, it sets off a reaction in your body. Stress hormones get released. And the more stress hormones get released, the more it takes a while for them to go away and calm down. Because people just...
Yeah, so what happens is when stress hormones get released, it's a response to a threat usually, or some kind of stressful situation. And usually it goes away pretty quickly. But the more frequently stressful situations occur, the less the more time it takes for the stress hormone to go away, and for the calming hormone, I don't know what that's called, but the calming hormone to release and calm you down again, because your body is on edge, virtually permanently. So the stress hormone thinks, well, we better stay for the long run because this, our host, the body, is just being put under stress like all the time. So there's no point in us going away. There's no point in releasing the calming hormone because calm never seems to stick around that long. So it takes a toll on the body. And like I say, the police don't take it seriously. No one takes it seriously. They just think it's kids pissing about. They just think this is what kids do. They give them a free pass. They don't realise how bad it is because this is mind games. Like I say, they're not just like being a bit mischievous. They're actively terrorising me. They're actively seeking me out and trying to intimidate me and make me feel a certain way. And then they act all nicey, but then the next minute they'll act all nasty and start accusing me of things. I mean, does that remind you of anyone? That reminds me of an abuser. They love bomb you and make you think everything's okay and we're all friendly and nice and on good terms. Then the next minute they go off on one at you, blame you for things, accuse you of things, twist everything so everything's your fault. They twist your words, and this is exactly what these kids do. They're playing mind games. They're no different.
People just say, oh, just stay calm, just relax, just do this and just do that. But when it's constant, it's hard to do that. Like, you're in a constantly stressful situation when they choose to doing this stuff, like, relentlessly. So it's not good for you. It can wreak havoc on your mental and even physical health and emotional health. So these people should be taking it seriously and not just brushing it off as though it's just a minor little thing, because it can wreak havoc on your body and mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. Like, it's not good.
But yeah, they're not taking it seriously. I actually tried ringing the local MP today, but they weren't open, or the person wasn't in. So I'll have to try again another day, but I'm going to get this sorted because they're not taking it seriously. I shouldn't have to go out there and get harassed. I shouldn't have to go out there and put up with these little shits. Like, they think they're doing nothing wrong, but the last time I went out on Monday, they had a go at me and they accused me of things. So they weren't nice then. And then they decided to come back and start again, but without actually being overtly nasty and intimidating. Let's see.
Alright, this is part 2 of what I was talking about in the previous recording. So, like I say, it makes you feel things, doesn't it? Like, it makes you feel like nothing you do is right or something. Because it's like, well, technically you can kind of reason with yourself, well, yeah, they're just being nice, they're not technically doing anything, and now they're trying to, like, talk to me or whatever. So then you think, oh, maybe I should have talked to them. Maybe I should have responded to them and said, yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Well, then they'd probably start trying to have a conversation with me. And when I say conversation, it means them asking me a bunch of questions, like an interrogation, because that's what they used to do when I was younger. They used to ask me all these questions, and usually before I had a chance to answer them, the full answer, another one would ask me a question, and it would just be like a bombardment of questions, and they wouldn't give you a chance to answer, and then they'd get all snarky with you if you didn't answer one of their questions, and I'm like, well, another one of you has just asked me a question before I had a chance to answer you. So it's like I'm trying to, and then if you continue to try and answer the first question, the one that's asked a question and interrupted you answering will say, hey, I was talking to you, I asked you a question, why aren't you answering me? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to finish my answer to the person who's just asked me a question before you. It's like, that's what they do. It's like I'm trying. So it's like, no matter what you do, you're always in the wrong. This is how these people make you feel. And this is why really I want nothing to do with these types of people. But it's like, you can't get away from them. It's like I say, in the past, they used to actively come to the house to do this. So whenever I went in the garden to play with the dog, I had to deal with these kids, and they kept calling me and calling me and calling me, and they wouldn't go away and leave me alone until I came over and talked to them. And it's like, I really just didn't want to talk to them because I knew what they were like. I knew they were going to eventually get nasty. So, but I kind of felt like I had no choice but to talk to them, because what would happen was, if I talk to them, then they'd be satisfied and they'd go away, or they'd have a go at me and, you know, I might defend myself or whatever, and then I'd walk away usually because I didn't take this shit, and then they'd go away. But then they'd come back the next day. So even if they'd been nasty to me, they'd come back the next day and it would be the same so even if they were nasty, they'd come back the next day and they'd keep calling me and say, we just want to talk, we just want to be friends, we want to be your friends, we're not here to cause trouble. So you go and talk to them. And at first you kind of think they're genuine, but I never fell for it though. Like, I knew what kind of people they were, but just went to talk to them, not because I was like tempted, like thinking, oh, maybe they want to be my friends. I didn't do it for that reason. I kind of did it to kind of shut them up, like to make them go away. So I'd go and talk to them, then they'd be satisfied and they'd go away, or they'd start an argument with me, but then they'd go away. So either way, my talking to them used to be the only tool I could use to get them to go away, because otherwise they wouldn't go away. Because at this point, they weren't doing anything wrong. In their minds, they were thinking, we're just here to be friendly. So if you ignored them and didn't want to talk to them, they'd think, oh, why don't you want to talk to us? You know, we're not doing anything. We just want to be your friends. We just want to talk. So it's like, you can't even use the argument that, well, I don't want to talk to you because, you know, you're being nasty, because they literally weren't at that point. So, but if they do that, then you can obviously say, like, oh, well, I don't want to talk to you because you're being horrible, which they would be at this point. So you could kind of have that excuse. But they'd always, like, twist.
Yeah, all these people, they live in the present, they don't live in the past. So if you try and bring up something that they've done in the past, and this includes my mum as well, she's the exact same. If you try and include the things that they've done in the past, it's like yesterday I said to my mum, I talked about, well, I'd probably get up earlier and do dinner earlier if I was treated better. And she went, oh, ho, 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 oh. And because in her mind, she thinks she treats me well. And it's because recently she has been treating me okay. You know, like, she has been helpful. She's made me cups of teas. She's made me sandwiches. She's made me, she's cut up onions, and, you know, she's prepared all the ingredients for, like, the dinners when it's my turn to cook. Because we now alternate. Some days she cooks and some days I cook. So when it's the days I cook, she prepares all the vegetables. So in her mind, she's done nothing wrong. She thinks she's being helpful. But it's like, in the past, and even that night when she was having a go at me, which was yesterday, like, she has done wrong then. But they don't acknowledge that. People like this, people like her and the kids, they don't acknowledge the past. They only acknowledge what's happening now. So in their minds, right this moment, they're acting nice to me. So they've not done anything wrong. They don't take into consideration that the previous day they came and, you know, harassed me and had a go at me and argued with me and called me names and all this kind of stuff. They don't think about the past. They probably remember the past, but they won't admit that they remember the past. And they'll make it out like that never happened. This is how these people operate. And this is why they're an absolute pain in the ass. Between twisting everything so it's your fault and denying that past bad incidents too. Well, I only had this bag. Well, that's because I was so hepped up about the kids I left them. I could have sworn I put them in my bag. That's weird. Right, well, I think that's all I have to say for now. If I have anything more to say, I will live stream again or make videos talking about it. So I'm very sorry I wasn't able to see the chat, but yep, white on white didn't work out too good. How do you stop it? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and support me on PayPal and Ko-fi.com. So that's paypal.me/royalrosewolf and Ko-fi.com